And for what it's worth, on the subject of this, the username that was maybe inappropriate, definitely inappropriate. If the consequence of wizards casting a wide net for a huge population on days like this is they have to do some one-off policing of individuals who slip through with some inappropriate stuff, so be it. That's cool. I'm glad that they are more on the line of, you know, I teased and said nice VIP or whatever, but I would rather they embrace and give everybody a chance, come on in, and then handle the one-off situations as they will. All right, what we got in this one? New stuff. We have Commence the End Game. Can't be countered for a 6-mana instant. Draw 2, then amass X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. Solid. Especially instant speed due to the end of their turn. We just saw Nissa come back and win the game for Oppo. That seems good. We've seen Soul Diviner in action as well. Kind of reads like an uncommon that's cheap to me, but it's good. Tolsimir, Friend to Wolves. Probably brings some wolves. Oh, that's strong, right? 6/6 worth of power, and you get a 3/3 that fights and 3 life. Yeah, we like that. What do you got? Atomic? Advocist. I think on Tomic's plane, they don't have C's. I guess Advocist has to be a K, though. It would be Advocist. It looks funny, though. What does it do? It's a flying 2/3, lands on the battlefield, and land cards in graveyards can't be the targets of spells or abilities your opponents control. Your opponents can't play land cards from the graveyard. So it's a Hate Bears card. It is a 2/3 for the 2/3 flyer for 2. Crushes the vanilla test if you can cast it, though, so we'll probably play it. Could be Bant again. Oh, what's Chandra do? Let's check her. Whenever one or more loyalty counters are removed from Chandra, she deals that much damage to target opponent or planeswalker. And interesting, so if you attack her, she attacks back. That's a cool mechanic. Another tip of my cap to the designer who thought of that templating, or that would work. You know, oh, when you attack her, her loyalty counters become points of damage. Yeah, it's not to anything, but I still just like the idea of that mechanic. The idea that her loyalty becomes damage. Exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. Classic red. And so you kind of want to play that on 5 if possible. So if you find land, you get to play Chandra's land. And then exile, play him this turn. Yeah, so really it's just about extra cards and extra damage. But probably let's start with the let's build a green-white deck, and then kind of want to see add mana. Let's see what we have in a fixing sense first. So 1 New Horizons. What's Neoform? Yeah, it doesn't. It's just it's interesting, but not part of our ramp. Mana Geode fixes a little bit. So there's a little bit of fixing here. And Desperation Guild Globes, if we really want to go wide on that. We could do the Birthing Pod one. You want to do this? We'll see. Let's find. Let's see what we got in terms of. Let's do this. I'll put these in for now, just as a reminder of our fixing possibilities. But I want to see enters the battlefield, because those are the creatures that are best with something like Neoform. So this will tell us if we have maybe the good tools for it. Like this would be good. Like doing this into this. Devouring Hellion. No, because its ETB is what makes us want to keep it there. I'm looking for, ideally, ETB where you're like, the value of this card is in their ETB. Like, this is pretty good for that. Although we're not red. Let's look at the Bant colors we thought we were going to end up in. That's a reasonable ETB, definitely that. I don't know if this has any decent targets, but we'll keep it in for now. Pride Mates. I don't know if we have lifelink yet, or life gain, but we'll see. There's some. I think that's a good trick. That's, you know, that's a fine creature, so is that. Not bad for the old 3/2 common for 3, but I don't know if we're really happy about it. I think I want to maybe try something. I'll put it in. They're playable, so I'll put it in for right now. Actually, I'm going to go to large view, so it's a little easier for you all to see. I don't like that. I was a little higher on this card than Marshall and Luis were. I get that it's not amazing, but sometimes the aggro deck in the format just needs their Cosmotronic Wave, just needs something to take your opponent from 7 to 0 in one turn. And 5 mana is a lot, Wujo, but as the top end of an aggro deck, this is your finisher. You know, this is your Cosmotronic Wave. It doesn't really matter that it's 5. Like, it's pretty rare that Cosmotronics Wave's casting cost was the major issue. We'll definitely take that. Don't want that wall. Would take that. That's been good. Try that. Bonds needs investment, and we're not going to do that. We're not going to invest in bonds today. Yeah, I'm with you. It might not be there. I'm just saying, in the abstract, I'm higher on the idea of a 5 mana sorcery full falter for aggro decks, but maybe not seeing that here. Nissa's Triumph. We have a Nissa Planeswalker, so clearly we have to do this, right? But it's basic forest cards. Aboo. That's alright. These seem real good. Band together. I think we want Ashiok. Sahili? I'm pretty down on tricks in this format, especially because this is one of those formats, kind of reminds me of the original Mirrodin, where there were so many sweet artifacts that you wanted to play, that once you added your creatures that you liked and your artifacts that you liked, there was nothing less left. And you play some removal, and suddenly you're playing like 11 creatures, you know? So in formats like that, which I think this is going to be with all the Planeswalkers, things like combat tricks fall even lower on my list than normal, and they're already pretty low. I've never been a big combat trick guy because they usually present so much risk when you cast them. You have to cast them into no open mana or cards if you don't want to fear a blowout. Target artifact. Yeah, we don't really have that going on. I'm gonna ditch the globes, but we'll try a splash here. Maybe we just splash the white and go blue-green, because we're not doing much life gain. Oh, it fixes if you have Nissa. I didn't read too closely, but I still don't. I hate that green. But we could try. Maybe if we're gonna do 3 colors, I guess we got to. Let's do that, and then we'll be really kind of focused on the. I think I'm gonna ditch this dude as being too oppressive on the mana. The Pride Mates aren't really what we're doing. Let's try to make the white a splash. Even keep the battlefield promotion. I think that's okay. I think I guess if we're gonna do a combat trick, we should just do giant growth. At least this keeps the counter on though. So there's that. But we don't have. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. Add like Skulker. Crystallized thoughts on the format. Again, we're only playing sealed, so another thing that's hard to do is see how this is going to play out in draft. One thing I'm trying to do, like, let's keep an eye out. We've had back-to-back sets now where there was some innocuous-looking blue common that, when combined with itself, created what ended up being one of the most important deck looping interactions in the format. And of course, I'm talking about Devious Cover-Up in GRN and Clear the Mind in RNA. So one thing, and I kind of missed both of those at first in terms of their importance, and I don't want to do that again. I want to really be on top of when a set has a tool like that to give control decks, winless control decks a way to win, you know? Any chance that you'd be able to put together a short list of your top commons and uncommons from your experience today for the community? Maybe. I don't know how useful that'll be. It's probably not going to be too much different from LSV's set review is the thing, right? Like, I mean, I could look at, I would say go and check out Luis's articles and see what he thinks, you know, and you're probably going to be fine. Be better off than if I make something up off of this. Anyway, let's see. What do we got to finish this off now? But with what? Let's go back to this view and this view. More of that, potentially. Well, let's check our own artifacts. Oh, we've already done that. You know, we don't want any of these. Do we want? No. That's 39. We're close. Just put another worm in. I guess I'll put in one totally lost, and we'll. Why? That's not good. Let me look at. Oops, numbers again. 12 creatures. Yeah, not great. All right, we'll try the classic. Oh, I didn't look at my mana at all, though. Gotta look at your mana. 773, probably close to where we're at, but we don't need that much white because we have Geode and New Horizons. And put back in that. Yeah, like that. You should be careful. Looks like green has good tools. Green has this at common. It has a 4-drop common that wow, this is something else. Power creep on green. 4 4s for 4. I kind of thought that feeling that it was a 5. I appreciate having a soft spot for green in my deck building history. I kind of appreciate letting green be the color that has the tools to do that. But enough talking. Let's get in. Let's get in. Help me figure it out, Draconis. In search of the meme. Well, green's our main color. We do have a Spellkeeper, and we have a nice Planeswalker, so I'm going to keep this. Oh, sorry. I was looking at my Twitch and waiting to hear the game tell me to do something. I started with a peach... Oh, I started with my home-roasted coffee. Delicious. Then moved on to a peach pear LaCroix. And now I am on to an apricot LaCroix. Sorry, Igromanial. I'll be on it now. Let's get this moving. All right, that's a upside. You know, that activated ability doesn't look like much, but we were playing Pegasi sometimes last format, especially when we had High Alert. But you know, upside Pegasus is pretty cool. I do actually roast my own beans, East. That makes that card a lot better. I'm kind of off Spindrift now. I was on it for a while, but I kind of feel like if I'm going to do this, like, if I'm going to do Spindrift, I should just get fresh lemons and limes from the grocery store and squeeze them into, you know, I should get myself an Airstream and just squeeze fresh fruit into Airstream. Is that the word for it? What do they call it? SodaStream. SodaStream stuff. We can't do anything that matters, so we'll attack. A lot of people try to correct you and say, excuse me, that's pronounced LaCroix. But LaCroix is actually a combination of the places La Crosse, Wisconsin, and the St. Croix River, so it is in fact LaCroix. It's just that Wisconsins don't do French. Wisconsinites? Here, I'll show you. Let me grab something. Hold on. Cheeseheads, that's fair. Cheeseheads don't do French. But I thought I'd show you. So this is the tool of my coffee trade. You just drop the beans in there, put this into a glorified toaster oven, and then it just tumbles this over heat for about 20-25 minutes, and then you've got fresh roasted coffee. All right, might have to do... I mean, I kept a sketchy. We really need green. We need more green. But I'll attack here. It looks like a free attack. Yeah, let's just take it. Makes sense. And we can't even do tricks like Giant Growth plus Band together because it needs more green. So, basically we are in Find a Forest or Die mode. What you gonna do with that?
Time to have your day.
Forest off the top, we probably just drop Tulsimir and take out the Visionary.
Teamwork is strength.
And then after that, we'll be able to band together to take out one of the flyers. Alright, Forest, and we're in this. Island, and we're kind of not, actually. Like, I don't know how we win now, going down to 6 or 5 if they put a counter up there. Does that leave us straight dead, though? If we do this, and we get a Forest... Yeah, we're just dead. Alright. I'm gonna scoop this one. Alright, well, we can only go get Forest currently, but that's going to do okay with the Geode helping us with everything else, so we'll keep this. Yeah, this format, that's a takeaway I have. This format does seem hard. And we kind of expected that too. Just the question of do I attack this Planeswalker or do I attack the player is a complicated decision that we're going to be making a lot here. We could go Grizzly, and then next turn we have Geode plus Neoform on Grizzly if we wanted. I didn't take a screenshot of the deck, so I don't even know what we'd be going to get, though. Nonetheless, I'll start with the Grizzly. The other, well, if we do the Geode, then we have 5 next turn, and that does give us the Skulker. I'll do the Geode. We'll get the Skulker next turn. Ooh, and we'll keep that, right? Yes, because the Geode will help us get the white. Well, there's the Hulk, and I can't remember what our other 4 might have been.
Make this quick. I'm bored already. Perish the thought.
Okay. This dude alone makes me want to do that. At least while he's out. This guy's voice lines just hit me like chalkboard nails, baby. None of that, please. What do we think is the least important here? We actually don't even know what we're doing with this, so I'm gonna ditch it. And here we get the Skulker. It's a strong card, though. As long as you get the 2 activations, it's at worst a Mind Rot, and then it gets better from there. I also don't know what I'm really doing with this, so I'm going to pitch that. Nasty. Looks like they're going to get 3 cards off of the most annoying voice actor in... Alright. Alright. You've hit a soapbox thing for me. I sure do love memes. I'm going to remember that after this, and I'm going to go on a soapbox. Hold on. I'm going to do this, though, and accept Probably we just let the Bloom Hulk go so that Vivian's Grizzly can find us stuff. But we'll start here. Alright, we said despite the power of the Hulk, I would rather have the power of finding replacement cards. We get to cast both of these, at least. What else does this do? Just a wolf. So it's every wolf can fight. All right. We're in a good position to race here if Appa wants to attack. Might chump with the army, though. I don't know. I do not know. And I'm gonna take a look with the Grizzly right now, in case there's something we want to do pre-combat. And send in the flyer. Looks like it's gonna die. Alright. Just need that Grizzly to survive and help us find some more stuff. Don't kill the Grizzly! That is rough. We don't have anything to get through this Challenger Troll, and Arlen is going to take over this game. We can at least go like this onto here. And where do we want to put this? Let's just spread the power around a little bit. Make the Grizzly bigger, because I want to keep the Grizzly around. Oh, we got to pressure Arlen, or we're just going to face this sea of 3/3s. That's where a 3/4 is pretty good on that front, but I guess we just can't. I mean, if we do, we're sending this into this, this into this, and then getting Arlen for 4, which is not worth it at all. So we accept some wolves and try to regain advantage through a long game card advantage with the Grizzly. Arlen plus Tulsamir is big game. Create 3/3 wolf that fights. Man. Alright, I don't think we're winning this one. To put it on the bottom? Yeah. Being able to block this might have helped. There we go. Now we can at least trade with that 6/5. Surprised they're not coming with their wolves. Like, why not attack with those? Wow, Kyora's like apparently a Alfred Hitchcock character. She enters and tense, freaky music plays. Yeah, we weren't winning this game before this turn started. Now we're just checking out interactions in the new set. Let's go past the blockers, throw this here, and go like this. Wouldn't even be in that bad shape if we'd been able to manage Arlen, but Arlen was not stoppable. All right, enough of that. I'd like to see a little better showing from this deck than we've seen so far, but... Oh wait, here I'll go in my soapbox for a second. It's a short one. I sure do love memes. Was talking about something being a whatever on a stick, discard on a stick or whatever. It tilts me. Okay, blah-de-blah on a stick. Blah-de-blah on a stick comes from this. I think this is basically where it came from. It's the idea that an artifact, a scepter, in fact, a stick that has a spell on it is a spell on a stick. You just said that the Planeswalker is a stick. It drives me nuts. Drives me nuts that the Magic community has embraced on a stick to describe creatures and now Planeswalkers with abilities. They are not sticks. You may say it's a walking mind rot. That's a walking mind rot. That's a walking counterspell. That's a walking whatever. Don't you go calling Planeswalkers and creatures sticks? If it's a scepter, it's on a stick. I mean, if their legs are really thin, I guess maybe they're on sticks. But it is not mind rot on a stick. It is a walking mind rot. I hate... Ugh, come on a stick. A stick. Planeswalker's not a stick. Creature's not a stick. End soapbox. Let's go play. All right. Disrupting Scepter was the original stick card. And you know, before Planeswalkers, I would say that such and such is a walking whatever, and now with Planeswalkers, they really are walking whatevers. All right, we'll keep all this. On a stick. I have not heard Saffron misuse that term. Well, it's just a bunch more forest, but it's still something we can do here. So I'm doing it. Not going to bother cycling the plan, since Oppo is not pressuring us. But I think he's right. What do you think parasitic means? While I'm going to wait to proliferate here, I'm not going to wait to proliferate here. We'll just cast this. Yeah, energy is parasitic. Parasitic in Magic context means that the mechanic wants more of itself, and which makes it self-feeding in a way that that makes it not play nicely with things outside of its format. So, energy is a parasitic mechanic. Splice onto Arcane is a very parasitic mechanic. Anything that basically only lives inside that one block, because it just doesn't really play well unless you're doing more of that stuff, that's what you'd call parasitic. Sorry, let's see, we'll play this. We got some options here, but probably just Nissa. Untap. Attack. Seems pretty strong. We could also go New Horizons, giving us 3 more mana and the Weird. I kind of like that, too. I'm going to do that. This way we put more stuff out ahead of dropping a Planeswalker, and we're better able to protect her. Hey, Strength, how are we running? I don't know, ask chat. I feel like we're losing a ton, but I think we're running great because we're sitting here playing free Magic on the new set all day. That's sweet. Whenever blah, 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 attacks, put a +1, and create an... Okay, yeah, so they just had a free attack. We're blocking here. Or if it turns out not to be free, they got us. Splice onto Arcane is a great example of a truly parasitic mechanic, because it doesn't work alone. It needs something, and it only can find that in the set it's in. All right. What if we drop this? And we could dismissal this. I want to go after her. I'm going to do this. Wait, didn't it untap? Okay, it's like, where's the untap? I thought it untapped. And then we can contentious plan. I don't know, because I'm making shit up. Now we can go... I'm gonna do this. I could have just sent that back, I suppose. That holds off Krenko for a turn, and we can deal with Krenko next turn then. Yeah, I thought they would trade for the land too. But then once they decided to just give up Jaya, makes sense to just take it all and figure out your trades next time, I suppose. All right. Now then... Now we'll do this. Oh, and we have the contentious plan. Great. So we go like this. Let's get rid of Krenko. Could almost get Nissa ultimated. We'll do that next turn, maybe. Oh, and I should have done this first, because if we'd done this first, then this land that I'm about to make a 3-3, a 4-4 would actually be a 5-5. It auto-selects everything good for you. Which was weird at first, and then is now the best thing ever. Yeah, Stranger Colin does make a great point about complete misuse of the word parasitic by wizards in using it this way. I think the justification for using parasitic in reference to a mechanic in its format is that the mechanic is parasitic of the format. It's a parasite on the format that feeds only on that format to exist. Like, that's kind of the justification you could make for using that terminology, but I totally get how, on the surface, it doesn't align up at all with the dictionary definition. I just hope Oppo lets us untap and ultimate Nissa. Just because I want to. That would be no. No ultimate Nissa for us. Alright. right, I think I'm going to give one more game to this deck, and then I'm going to take a long lunch break. I'm going to cut the stream off. I don't know if yeah, it doesn't make sense to like have a stream sitting around Be Right Back for an hour, right? Yeah, Proliferate seems great, as I was expecting it to, and I'm going to be all about proliferating and nonsense. This set is going to be a nonsense set. This is fun. I think the set's going to be fun. All right, last play with this deck. I will take a little break and then keep an eye. If you don't have a notification for when I go online, now would be a great time to make sure that you are both following me and that you have me set to let you know when I'm going online. And then you'll know exactly when I'm back on. So I expect to see just a flood of follows right now, and as people prepare to be notified when I come back later. We go first. We do not have third land, but we got to keep this. We'll find an island off the top, and it's going to be great. LRR MTG VIP. Who am I playing? Somebody go look at the LRR stream and tell whomever I'm playing, hello from Ryan. Good luck, have fun, LRR MTG, whichever member of the troop you are. Hello. Hey, Graham. Graham's the best. I did a lot of work with Graham actually while I was at Wizards, because Loading Ready Run did a lot of contract work for Wizards. Loading Ready Run and Graham ran the Magic Online Community Cup at least 1 year, and I actually had some moments in that Community Cup that I wasn't particularly proud of after the fact. Nothing I think that occurred on camera, but there were some frustrating aspects of the game design around the Community Cup that year that started getting me a little bit tilted, and I remember I gave Graham the business one time in my frustration over it, and apologized to him later because I was a little too harsh. I just get super competitive, and so when the rules weren't making any sense to me, competition-wise, I get a little... but really that thing was not about competition, and it was on me to let that go. We're going to attack here. The Community Cup was one of those things we tried once, and it was fun, and everybody had a good time, and it felt great. But there was really nothing to say, and here's how it's helping our bottom line. Measurably. I mean, you can assume that it is on some level, right? That I'm going to go ahead with no pressure from Oppo, from Graham. I can say Graham. No pressure from Graham. I'm going to try this Geode and get our color and mana fixed, and we'll keep that, and then we can drop the Wolfmaker next turn. And yeah, so those things, those projects and things, they need to have a business justification. And I think really what happened was the Community Cup lost its business justification, and the people in charge of making it happen were juggling 17 different major Wizards events, and so that one kind of got slid to the wayside, I think. Yeah, Graham was in it 1 year, but he also ran it 1 year. He was also just the MC. That's the one I'm talking about. I think the thing that tilted me was when Rob Schuster, we had a lot of the challenges in the Community Cup were to do things under a time pressure really quickly. I'm going to go ahead and have the wolf fight that ogre. We're going to go ahead and let the friend to wolves fight this ogre. But anyway, one of the challenges is that we had to make themed commander decks with no, every commander deck is themed basically, but make a commander deck from scratch in like 40 minutes. And Rob Schuster was given, got one of the pirate legends. So got this pirate legend to work with and made what I think is the most genius commander deck I've ever seen created in 40 minutes. It was dripping top to bottom with pirate flavor, and he had so much time, he had enough time at the end that Rob actually went through and only picked basic lands that had piratey art, that felt like they were anyway, he put all this work into it, and he was graded as 2 on the nose, like kind of too piratey was was the feedback he got. And that's where I was just like, I lost it a little bit when Rob Schuster got shaggy dogged. When Rob Schuster got shaggy dogged by Graham, it tilted me a little bit. But Graham and I are good friends. I shouldn't say good friends. Graham and I are friends. Good friends are like people you invite to weddings and stuff. I wouldn't get invited to Graham's wedding, but I think he would call me a friend. We sure like hanging out. Yeah, this is a very Wooburgy set of cards if you have a Planeswalker at any rate. What is this? Bioessence Hydra is a 4/4 for 5 with trample and enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each loyalty counter on planeswalkers you control. Wow, that could get big in some spots. And when you add, it adds to the Hydra too. Nice. A lot of cool designs in this set. A lot of how do we incorporate the inherent aspects of a planeswalker into the design of different cards. And I think they're doing a great job with it. Got nothing to proliferate here, despite our proliferation cards. Maybe we want to actually just... we'll Wanderer's Strike, though. It's good enough to get rid of, obviously. I don't know if this just wins, but... close. Oh, sorry. End of turn. Sorry, Graham. Sorry. They assume I'm just chatting at you anyway, but that was just me spacing that it was on me. I'll prep a good game. Ooh, maybe it's not... it's not enough, though, right? They get the big one, but we still get to swing in. So that's kind of a GG. No 11-11 for them, unfortunately. All right, we managed to pull back to a 2-2 with this one. We're going to resign this deck. We are going to take a little break here. So thank you all for hanging out with me to this point. I'm going to take about an hour. It's 12:30. Figure I'll be back on by 1:30, and we'll keep playing. I'm going to go recharge, get a nice meal, maybe take a little 20-minute cuddle with the pupper, because That feels great. And we'll be right back for some more action.